Well, tonight here on Channel 2, disturbing video of an Alpine School District bus driver hitting and wrestling a severely autistic student.
The video obtained by our Beyond the Books unit. Chris Jones on this story for us tonight. And Chris, this story raises serious questions about the training that schools give to people who work with kids, especially kids with disabilities.
Yeah, that's right. Federal law requires school employees who work with certain disabled students to have read the child's individualized education plan. That's called an IEP. But beyond that, school districts in Utah are not required to provide any training to many employees who work with those disabled kids every single day, like the bus driver you are about to meet. Also, just a warning, the video you're about to see, not easy to watch.
It hurts, doesn't it? Now,
This is former Alpine school bus driver, Gary Bertignoli. Video cameras captured him assaulting an elementary school girl. She is autistic, blind, and nonverbal. And this happened on 2 separate occasions in 1 week.
you gonna behave? You gonna behave? Now sit in the seat.
It's violent, it's disturbing.
Aaron Kinney of the Utah Disability Law Center is filing a lawsuit against the Alpine School District. He argues the district violated the girl's constitutional and federal civil rights.
I'm the bus driver, and I won't let you do that on my bus.
He says that everything that happened on the bus these 2 days is the fault of the district.
Everything that he did was exactly the opposite of what he should have been doing.
For example, Kinney says guidelines for the student states she must be secured with a safety harness when she rides the bus. As you can see, she is not. And he says the actions of the bus aides demonstrate that they're not familiar with her behavioral issues, like how, when the girl is upset, she pulls hair.
So one of the aides later on has her hair, which is extremely long, just hanging there as, you know, some kind of tempting thing for this particular child to grab. And in fact, she does grab it.
Let go of my hair.
Try to count down from 50 or sing a song to help calm her. So those are de-escalation techniques.
He didn't use those.
Oh, he sure didn't.
I need a yes out of you.
He taunted her. He put her in arm bar locks and bent her wrist back and slapped her and choked her. She has a tendency to bang her head. Care should be taken to prevent head injuries when she is upset.
They didn't do that.
No.
Break my window, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Based on what you saw, did the bus driver and some of that staff do anything right during this process?
No, they didn't do anything right.
Are you Gary? Beyond the Books tracked down the bus driver, Gary Bertignoli.
But I didn't lose control.
I would argue you did lose control. He tells me he's been driving for 4 years, but these incidents happened during his first week on this particular route. And he says he was never trained on how to deal with autistic children.
But did they give you a course on how to de-escalate when a child starts to get out of control?
No.
Okay.
I don't know that there's a course out there.
Beyond the Books decided to dig into the training that drivers and others get across the state. And what we found is the rules are often vague and vary from district to district. For example, in the Canyons district, bus drivers have access to special ed training but are not required to take it. In Ogden, drivers may get training on de-escalation strategies, but training is also optional. In Millard, drivers spend 1 hour a year learning about working with special needs kids. And in Alpine, the district for which Bertignoli worked, drivers get what they call general technique training and also get information about the specific needs of students who are on their bus. Kinney says the lack of specifics and uniformity is leading districts across the state to drop the ball.
I'm not proud of it.
Tonight, Gary, who was fired by Alpine, says he is simply trying to move past the assault and believes things might have been different if he'd been given the right tools.
So you asked him point blank, where's the
I
training?
did.
Yeah.
And that was in.
What was their response?
They didn't respond.
So who shoulders the burdens for the mistakes that were made on that bus?
Everybody from the bus driver to the people, the school district employees, and then all the way to the top.
Time to go to school.
Now, we did reach out to the Alpine School District because there is a lawsuit pending. They could not comment on it. Although we have heard from people who say they drive buses for this district. They say just within the last year, they've been told that they're going to have to undergo some mandatory training on how to deal with kids with disabilities. If it has something to do with this case, we do not know. But tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we will have a follow-up talking to the state about what you saw in that video.
How did people become aware that he was doing this? Was it the tapes on the bus?
Well, what happened is it took a week for the district transportation department to find out that this video was out there. And when they did, that's when they took action. But it took 5 days before they could do that.
It's hard to watch that video.
Absolutely.
It really was.